it's that time again. Time for me to tell you another epic story from the olden times. Aloni Noir. Aloni Noir, Aloni Noir, Aloni Noir, Aloni Noir. Okay, a long time ago, back in the late 90s, there was a king, a ruler of a paradise called Radiant Garden. This man lived in a massive castle. His name was Ansem the Wise, a smart old man who loved science. He was trying to understand the secrets of a magical force within people called hearts, a spectral, heart-shaped floating crystal that held a person's memories and feelings. In order to do this, he began the Heart Research Group. He would find smart young men and he would take them on as apprentices, using them as lab assistants and trying to figure out the secrets of the heart. First, he hired Evan, a young genius that rivaled his own. And while he was smart, he had very little common sense. He brought on two very strong, beefy men called Alias and Dylan. These men would research alongside them, but when security became a problem and people were sneaking in, they decided to guard the castle themselves because they were so strong. One day, Ansem found a young kid named Enzo, a homeless, parentless orphan on the street. He decided to bring this kid into the castle and raise him like a son. Everything was going great until they arrived. A confused amnesiac young man named Xehanort, and a mysterious eye-patched man named Braid. These 5 men were his apprentices for some time. Many years went by, and Ansem taught this group everything he knew, but some things shouldn't be known. Ansem decided to test an experiment on a single person, and Xehanort volunteered. No one quite knows what the experiment entailed, but Xehanort seemed different after the tests. He began to meet with others in secret, doing his own tests. The 5 men kidnapped people and began turning them into heartless, corrupting their hearts with darkness and watching the result. After many experiments in the basement, there was an army of heartless multiplying, creatures made of darkness surrounding floating hearts. Xehanort followed them to a very special place, a magical door that he had never seen before, the heart of the world, a powerful core of magic that held the world together. Even as he opened the door, meteors fell from the sky. Every night, each of the apprentices looked into the door, and slowly they began to be corrupted by it. These once innocent men would now stop at nothing to understand it. They fed the living to these monsters, kept prisoners in cells, and learned the truth about nobodies, heartless, and hearts themselves. Xehanort grew more and more insane each day. People began to hear screams from inside the castle. 2 boys, Axel and Isa, vowed to find out what was happening and stop these men. One day, a king from another world arrived. Mickey Mouse, a little mouse guy with an obsession to copyright all media. Ansem and Mickey became great friends, and not soon after, Ansem learned the truth. He ordered his sons to free the prisoners. After speaking with Mickey Mouse, Mickey told him that he should look at the research before he destroys it. Ansem went into the basement, but so did Xehanort. No one quite knows exactly what happened in that basement, but soon after, Xehanort came back upstairs, saying his name was now Ansem, and he was the ruler of Radiant Garden. He had a wicked plan. He and his men would cast away their bodies and split in 2. After much preparation and planning, Xehanort, Alias, Evan, Dylan, Enzo, and the 2 newest recruits, Lee and Isa, sacrificed their bodies and truly joined Organization 13. Ansem the Wise was banished to a realm of darkness, and he lost his mind. Consumed by rage, he cast away his name and took the name Diz. Darkness in Zero. The dumbest name ever. He was no longer Ansem the Wise. He was now Ansem the Fool. Anyway, I'm Aloni the Bard, and that's what I know about that. Thanks for listening. Bye. If you're going to comment, what about Subject X? Just wait. That's a whole other story. I'll get into it. I know all about it. And the 4 other members. Just relax. These things take time. Feel free to tell me all about them in the comments. Maybe there's something I don't understand about Subject X, or about Isa and Lee sneaking into the castle constantly. You know, I'm crafting a narrative here and trying to explain all these characters, so trust me. But hey, if you're wondering what's been up, I just finished streaming all of Kingdom Hearts. It was very fun. I enjoyed it a lot. Melody of Memory was particularly exhausting. So I've decided to take 2 weeks off to work on some stuff, to relax, to have a quick little vacation. I was streaming for 186 days in a row, so I feel like I needed a break. I'm not really even burnt out. I probably could have gone another 200 days, but I don't know. I felt like it was time. So I'll be back streaming on August 14th, and I am doing a fun little D&D game for 2 weeks that I had planned that is pretty awesome. It's Kingdom Hearts themed. I'm basically telling a fan fiction of an alternate timeline where they didn't come back. Because if you know anything about Kingdom Hearts, you know that everybody dies and then they time travel back and undo it. So what if they didn't go back? What if they didn't come back? Because that timeline was fated to fall into darkness. I want to see that. I want to see what happens. What happens when Terranor kills all 13 lights immediately and they don't get to make the Keyblade because they didn't have 13 individual clashes like they wanted. The plan to form the Keyblade was to have 13 darknesses and 7 lights clash, and only when they clashed directly would the Keyblade be formed. And you can see each time that the light and dark clash, a different blade gets made. So if Terranort just killed them all at the beginning like they planned, they wouldn't have made the blade. So I have such interesting ideas of how Xehanort would take his 13 commanders and place them across the universe. And I think doing like a 20-year time skip where they didn't manage to kill the lights because the lights just kept hiding would be really fun. I have such good ideas about, like, you know, Replatu ruling over Neverland, and you got like Larxene ruling over Arendelle while Elsa's hiding, and she's like 40 years old now. I have a lot of really cool ideas, and for these next 2 weeks I'm basically gonna prep for that. So if you want to see it, August 14th, 6 p.m. CST, don't miss it. It's gonna be real quick. It's only gonna be like 2, 3, 4 hours max, so you might want to check it out before it disappears. It'll probably come out on as a podcast eventually, but it should be really fun. I've been doing D&D for a long time, and I think this is finally the best version it's gonna be. I've been saving Kingdom Hearts for now, but it'll be 2 whole weeks. So I hope you enjoyed this. I thought I'd bring out Aloni Noir again because I always love being Aloni Noir. I was gonna have a guest host, but then I realized that the microphone quality wouldn't be as good, so I was like, I'll just do it. Anyway, thanks for listening. Keep the faith. Bye.